past it real quick.
Pandas.
Sorry, guys.
There we go. How's everyone doing tonight? It's a nice Leaky mug in California. Beautiful evening in downtown. About time? Excuse me, ma'am? No. We've been wanting to get out of California for a while because this is definitely one of the places where we get the most requests.
Yeah.
So, let's kick it off. Let's kick the evening off. Let's get everyone out here, and then we will proceed with tonight's event. First up, oh boy, this man set a new record today in Subway history. He took advantage of the Subway gift cards that were given to him so graciously by Middlecast fans.
All of them at once.
36 inches of Subway today. Benching!
First up from Pottercast, we have our little happy Hufflepuff. She makes Pottercast happy. John's actually been doing that all week.
Next up, MuggleCast's technical guru. This guy's know everything. He's backwards compatible with everything but Windows 3.1. It's Kevin Stack. Then after Kevin, MuggleCast's voice of reason. Am I doing this order right? MuggleCast's voice.
Because it's in it.
Okay, never mind. You're gonna. MuggleCast's voice of reason, often described as Laura Thompson. And then to round out, sorry, Laura. Laura's coming out later in the show. To round out the MuggleCast group, he's got a British accent, this boy. He started this new phenomenon. He brought back the song Every Time We Touch by Jamie Lawrence.
Alright, well by now I'm sure you know who's coming. This guy gave Mr. Blood and the Super Bloods their start. He was the biggest dolish on the Santa Monica Pier, as we've seen from some pictures recently. It's John Noe.
So. How's everyone? This is a nice little group. This is definitely the smallest live podcast we've done. But yeah, we don't big groups are nice, but there's nothing as good work, Jamie.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. We have to, hold on a second. A fan, you guys, you give us stuff and it's always really nice, but this girl, what's your name? This girl with the hair, she's like sort of got Trelawney hair. It's great. It's great. It's a good thing. She thrust this box right as we were about to go onto stage. So we were going to put it in the green room, but we figured why not? We'll open it right here. This is to the Leaky mug. Hermione. Hold on. So you can also have boobs right now. Hold on a second. Sorry, sometimes they come out. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Lots and lots of candy. I'm sure Ben has some room to eat. For free or later. For John, for everybody. And there's
I also had two pieces of pizza
box
backstage.
for Sue. Oh. A box for Sue. I'm sorry, guys. This is sort of like our Christmas, and you're watching it. not nice, but that's for me. We're gonna put it there. Oh, nothing for John. No. Okay.
And some pops for Jamie.
Thank you.
Who's this?
Oh, I don't know what he's
I
doing
don't know.
today.
I heard you like pizza. And John.
Oh.
There's something
cool, remember.
How many drink?
That's what I was
Can I
worried
drink for
about.
Andrew? Because he's
Andrew
Okay. Okay, everybody open.
and
You guys
Kevin.
know what they
Yeah,
are.
no one else can open it. This is great.
Very nice.
It says Charmed. It's from the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. It does. It matches my outfit. Woo! Probably Broadway should know about it.
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you very much.
What's yours?
Mine is this beautiful little necklace, like the.
Oh, Sue.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Very nice.
I will wear that. Thank you.
That's gorgeous.
Well, thank you. This ends the Christmas portion of
I know. So we've been here in LA for the past week. We have some stuff we wanted to tell you guys about. First up, everyone was amazed by this, Ben.
Yeah, today Jamie and I and a few other people were in Subway, and there's one like right around the corner from the hotel, and we were sitting there eating, and Jamie says, "I bet you could eat twice that." I said, "I can eat 3 times that." And he said, "Well, do it." And so I did it, and he gave me $1 per inch I ate. So this is literally 36 inches of Subway in 45 minutes. So it was impressive. So I never have to eat again.
And you've been complaining ever since.
He called me about it all excited. Guess what, Melissa? I'm thinking, oh wow, Ben, what did you do? He's so excited. I ate 36 inches of Subway.
How long ago was this?
Huh?
How long ago was this?
This was today.
How many hours ago? Because you
4.
just ate 2 pieces of pizza.
Literally.
This is why childhood obesity is a problem.
I can recommend you a podcast.
Hey, you keep eating whenever, regardless whether or not you're hungry. Americans are used to keep eating. Never mind.
That's right, and it's America's fault.
We've got photos of him throughout the entire stage, so he starts eating and he's smiling, he's really enthusiastic. Then after 12 inches, he's still sort of half smiling. Then 24 inches, his mouth is down turned, slouching a bit. And then comes sort of 35 inches, he's almost crying.
Well, when I got towards the end, I had to like chew it 100 times and then wash it down with some Diet Coke. You know that.
Diet Coke.
Yeah, Diet Coke.
You know.
It's healthy, I swear.
Nice way to cut the calories there.
Yeah.
It's costing me serious money though, because I keep challenging him to things, he just does them without question.
Like in the green room, there was this big bucket of ice with water, and he said, "I'll give you $2 if you stick your hand in there for 30 seconds."
So he just walked over and just slammed it in. Didn't even care.
Seriously, guys, you ever wondered like what goes on behind the scenes? I mean, seriously, that's
It's that exciting. That's about
Don't
it.
challenge me in anything, because I'll do it.
Nothing, seriously, he just does it.
Hey, that should be one of the things. We have these things to give away later, and we were trying to come up with a way to do it. So we thought about like trivia, we have like podcast trivia, but I think whoever comes up with the craziest dare for Ben should get one of them. Like Ben's shaking his head right now.
Ben, you have
Whatever you can throw at me, I
you
can
have
do
to
it.
kiss every girl in here, Ben.
Oh, that's
It's another average day for Ben Shane.
I'm up for that. Okay, I hate pickles, so don't even suggest that. But I'll still do it, just to prove a point.
So anyway, I don't know how you can possibly tangent off of that, but we've been here in LA for the past few days. We went to Disney the other day, that was very nice.
We did the Tower of Terror.
twice.
John was so scared he was cleaning my arm the entire time.
It's true.
We all locked arms. Who was it? It was you and Andrew the first time. We're all just huddled like this. And the darn ride goes up so high, and it's so dark you don't know what's coming. I hadn't been on that before. Did you guys?
No, I know
Yes.
that. You had to, John. You went through in Florida, didn't you?
No, it's a little different though. No,
So it doesn't bring you up to the top?
it does, but the doors opened up at the top.
They do.
It didn't when I was on it in Florida.
Oh, you got a broken one.
We'll see.
That could have been it. My eyes could have been closed.
Well, if any of you have ever been to Disneyland from California, you've all been there. Anyways, when you go, like a lot of those rides, they take pictures of you. Anyways, we did Space Mountain.
Oh,
Space Mountain, like the little indoor roller coaster
God.
where you're falling through space or whatever. And when we got out the end, my beautiful hair was flying back, and Andrew's eyes were big. And
We have a picture of that, and
We bring it with
it's
you.
online. I won't plug anything, but you just look around online. I'm sure you'll find it.
a certain blog hosted by GoDaddy.com.
Oh my God, I mean, you also
The number one domain registrar.
And then we had an awful meeting.
I stupidly bought this photo as well for $20. Then
His camera.
yeah, Andrew took his camera and just took a photo of it for.
Trying to say anything.
Well, Jamie almost ripped my fingers off on that ride. You really did.
I did.
No, I won the Buzz Lightyear.
We're on the same level.
48,000.
My score was
48,000? My first time?
Okay, this is so
What'd you
funny.
get, Ben?
There was this little girl in a car in front of us, and she had a higher score than Jamie.
My gun wasn't working.
That's what you
That's what
always
they all say.
Yeah.
Actually, our friend Frack was with us. Some of you guys might know him as the guy who drew the I Can Pamps You Now graphic
With
that was on
Voldemort?
podcast.com. You got like 284,000 points on that thing. I got like a 12. Jamie got like a 34. Frack's like, here's the secret. And apparently, if you don't know, when you get like one of the little buzzers, you just hold it down. And it keeps scoring you. I'm like, why didn't you tell me before the ride? I could have kicked
Because you
that
wanted all the
chance.
glory.
What?
I got a question for the audience. How's everyone been? Have you been dealing without new episodes of MuggleCast and Pottercast?
I think our favorite. I think our favorite comment about that was, "Oh, great! Now we know what we got for voting and making sure you guys won the podcast awards. You got to go to
Yeah, we'll
California and skip an episode." Sorry.
We actually had recorded an episode, but then once you get here, you get in LA and you get in England, you just realize I can't handle this. We're doing all this other stuff, so that'll be
Well,
on
that's what
2
happened
weeks.
with us, right? Right,
Yeah.
John?
Oh, yeah, pretty much exactly what happened.
Except that we
We
Didn't
never got around to
record.
recording it, did we?
did we record for next week?
Not yet. We're gonna do that. Maybe tomorrow?
Bad sign for podcast listeners next week.
We all know what will happen if MuggleCast has a higher number of episode release than Pottercast.
Well,
The
we used to
world
numbers
will
being
end. Yesterday, I don't know if you guys.
Let's move on. So anyway, the podcast awards. Podcast awards.
Oh, well, okay. It wasn't next on my handy dandy list, but we can go there.
Okay, good.
I was going to talk about the pier yesterday.
The pier.
Oh.
Well, there were some brawls out in the ocean. And it was
Anybody
amazing.
seen any of those pictures yet?
John's in his boxers.
Oh, we got rid of
We took those
those.
down.
We deleted those pictures.
After I proved them.
I will be selling them. benshane@gmail.com. $50 each.
I have them right here.
No, you don't.
I do. It's my computer. How much will you pay me?
Pay me
Not
what?
to open the computer and show them.
All of Ben's subway cards.
Actually, I paid for it out of pocket, but I didn't want to use the Subway gift cards like that.
Then I paid you back for doing the 36 hours.
But yeah, we wrestled by the sand, and there's videos of it too on YouTube.
No, they wouldn't go up because the step work wasn't working.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kevin's
sorry.
Step Network.
Sorry, not
The only reason
yet.
bring Kevin out here is so he could do the internet for us.
Yeah, exactly. It's
He
the
can
only
figure it out
reason.
today. No, I'm just kidding, Kevin. We love him.
They will shortly be up on YouTube. And
They only gave me
It's
15
like-
minutes.
well, it's sort of like a fan video waiting to happen. These pictures, I don't know if you've seen them, you know, boys running around on the sunlit, sparkling beach, you know, running after each other all innocently.
Well, see, what happened was I knew the second we stepped on the sand that somebody was going to end up getting wet. And we were just, everyone had their pants or they were wearing shorts or whatever, so they were just walking out in the water and the water would come around their feet or whatever. Anyways, next thing I know, I look over there and John and Andrew are like grappling with each other and getting ready to have a fight. And then, well, John kicked Andrew's butt, and so I had to go set John straight, I took him down, but then he had the technique, he grabbed my ankles and I fell. So.
They did. It's how you tackle a tree. You go low. It comes tumbling down.
And then I body slammed Eric in the water. That's a very nice video.
That's an awesome
Yeah.
video. That's my favorite.
I'm surprised he didn't break his neck.
Surprised he's here today, actually, after that.
There's Eric over there.
So I hope you join us
He's wearing a muscle shirt for you all today. His caption man muscles.
in
We'll talk about that in a minute. Anyway, you want to talk about the podcast for us?
Yeah, we got. Excuse me. It's the pizza coming up. We got the podcast awards coming
I
up.
really like pizza.
Yeah, I really like
I
pizza.
really do.
We got the podcast awards coming up tomorrow in Ontario, California.
We're gonna win. Well, podcast already won.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for you guys turned
Thanks all
out
for
the
those
vote.
votes.
If you didn't vote, leave right now. But anyway.
Won today, that is.
Yeah, podcast is up for Best Entertainment. We're up. Well, you guys won Best Entertainment. We're up for People's Choice. If we don't win,
We're gonna win.
we're gonna cry, and
We're gonna
then
win.
it's gonna be bad to have yourself associated with Leaky and/or Pottercast.
Why?
Yeah, I know, but the whole purpose for coming out here was to win the
He thinks we
podcast
pulled
award.
I'm missing-
some underground move to like steal the votes from
No,
the mutual
no,
arrangement
no.
thing. You guys won. I'll
Yeah,
give you money right
we
here.
won.
I'll
We
give you
won.
money right here.
I will forever be a skeptic until the winner is announced. However,
If you guys don't win, I'll eat 36 inches of Subway sandwich. I can do it. Probably not.
How about 36 Chipotle burritos?
That's a lot more than
That's
36
okay.
inches.
That is. There's talking about 12 Chipotle burritos.
I need at least 3 months for that. Yeah, actually I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Because I called you and he's like, I'm like, where is John? No, of course, the time I call him.
When was that,
I
John?
forget which one that was.
When was that?
Just a few days ago.
Wait, are you talking about Chipotle or are you talking about the
Baja
Chipotle
Mexican Fresh.
Oh, we went to Baja Fresh also.
It was really funny.
You have never seen John Noe annoyed until
Oh my
you see
God.
He actually
Baja
did not want to
Mexican
eat there
Fresh.
just because it's Chipotle's competitor and he
Yeah.
didn't want
He gets a little salsa and he was like, it's not good.
It wasn't good.
Jeez, John, eat the freaking salsa. It's gonna be fine.
John,
I
explain.
tried to give them my gift card to pay for it. They just looked at me funny. They wouldn't take it.
John, explain how I got beaten by one Chipotle burrito.
Well, Jamie in New York decides he wants to order the most complicated Chipotle burrito I've ever seen in my life. He had rice, beans, onions, peppers,
Two types of
tomatoes, chili corn salsa, chicken, cheese, sour cream, lettuce, and guacamole. I don't remember.
Was this your own dare?
So death in a tortilla.
Like a self-dare?
He ate about 3 or 4 bites and was in the bathroom.
Straight away.
Horrible. And then later that night, he decided to swing by McDonald's and get a Big Mac and a cheeseburger.
At 5 a.m.
Terrible.
Sorry? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, what is it that if Harry dies, you have
which
to
is
eat?
not going to happen. So
He's
there's no.
gonna die.
You know,
It's not gonna happen. You have to eat. What is it? 50?
50 jumbo sausages.
Oh my god.
I can't do it, so he can't die. So
You're going to tell Joe that, aren't you?
Sorry, yeah,
Let Joe.
Well, we should talk. Can we talk about our day?
Yeah, I'm gonna let Sue start this. 'Cause we had an interesting day.
Yes, we did. I had the best day. I'm telling you, you know why? And I squeed and I scared Warner Brothers studio. You did. I really
Scared
did.
the toaster was, yeah.
We went on the studio tour that they have at the VIP tour, and if you have, it
Awesome.
truly is. I
Awesome.
cannot rave about it enough. We had the most fabulous tour guide, Rob. If he's listening. Rob. He rocks.
Do you know Rob?
Do you know Rob?
All the tour guides.
How many times have you been on it?
I don't know, but I'm going on the lot tomorrow, so I'm gonna go around running the Harry Potter Run Museum just for you guys.
See, this is what we're talking about.
Harry Potter
Rob,
floor.
Harry Potter and the museum up on the whole floor is nothing but Harry Potter. Can we just say?
Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
They have all the costumes. They have Gilderoy's. You know, gather round. Everybody's costume there. They have, of course, my man Cedric.
Cedric's costumes and
Both, and then they have the fabulous things. They have the Goblet of Fire. They have the egg. They have
Certain hat.
a certain hat. But I got officially sorted into what house could that be?
Slytherin.
Immediately. And they have it randomized too. They have it like the clips playing from the movie.
Yes.
Which means no one ever gets sorted into Ravenclaw because they don't say Ravenclaw.
In the movies. Right. All right, and so we kind of stumped the guys. They were like, well, someone else was asking that, and of course they don't realize who's there, you know? Or like we heard this and we're like,
I
wow.
don't know how accurate this was because I sat down and it says, another Weasley. Darn thing.
Look at my, oh. But the
Terrible.
reason why I squeed though is later when you're driving around on you go into this one building and our tour guide didn't tell us what was in this. He just said, go on in, and it was dark. And I'm the first one in the door because I'm all happy and zippy, and I zoom in through the door, and I go, and I won't do it now because I'll spare your ears. It's hard. They have the Flying Ford Angeles in there. You could go there and see it. It's most
Awesome.
It's the blue car. It's there.
And we drove it around the block. She was waving. It was awesome. There's actually no engine in it.
So can you see? I don't know if you can see, but it was awesome. And we converted our whole group with us on the tour to Potter fans now, so all about this. It was
I
great.
passed out some of those Leaky stickers. The rest of us had a great morning too. We got up at about 11 a.m. or
done,
so.
but okay.
11 a.m. or so, and made our way down the street to Subway, and the rest they say.
The rest is history.
Oh, but there's other things. That whole studio tour is really phenomenal. I mean, they have all this stuff, and the museum is really fabulous because they have it from, I mean, this incredible, when you start the tour, they show this incredible montage of clips and things from all their movies and things and
Sent to
television
you
shows.
too.
And yeah, you too. You too. Beautiful day, baby. It was rocking. And it's just really an excellent tour. And it was like a surprise to me because I didn't realize how much Harry Potter stuff was there. But it was just, we got to see them. They were actually doing a scene from ER. We got to see that, and George Clooney was on the set.
Well, they were filming Ocean's 13.
He's
Ocean's
your baby.
13 was And then they brought us into another darkened hangar. They like doing this, and they opened the door, and
Oh God, this is great. Yes, way.
On the set of Friends.
On the set of Friends, there we are. That was another.
Basically, you all need to get down there at some
You
point.
have to go if you get a
It's
chance.
the
It's
coolest
really
thing.
This is the biggest ad for the WB studio lunch.
I know.
I know you shake.
I know, it was
Give us
terrible.
all free tours next time.
Oh, big, genuine. We were flipping out the entire time. It was
wonderful.
It was great. Thank you, Frack.
What else happened today?
Let's see, we slept.
Oh, wait, we're doing.
I know these guys.
Subway.
These guys, they complain. They come all the way out to California. They sleep and they sleep and they sleep and they get up and we knock on the door. Say, "What are you doing?" Everybody's sitting there on their laptops. We're in the middle of Los Angeles. Oh, we went to
We're
Subway.
gonna update our MySpaces, people.
Oh, we went in and out. Oh, we did.
Not yet. What is it?
One person at a time.
Out
Burger Alley. I've heard of that.
In-N-Out Burger, yes. It's
Okay,
a burger
well-
place that you have to go to.
I think there's an In-N-Out nearby here, isn't there? Okay.
Party in
I think we're going to have to do that. I'll give you $100 if you give me 5 In-N-Out burgers.
We have to deal with him tonight.
Yeah, I heard you can stack up as many meat patties as you want.
100 by 100! Ben, 100 by 100!
This is turning into.
Alright, okay.
Geez, take water.
Hey, one person trying to explain this now.
Animal style.
You order animal style? Because the 36 inches wasn't proof enough. We've got to order animal style.
Well, I'm. I can feel my arteries clogging already.
Oh, man.
Which is In-N-Out regular cheeseburger, but it's 4 patties and 4 slices of cheese.
Oh my god.
I want to see this, Ben.
I've never heard a better idea.
Then think what Jared, the Subway guy, would say.
Yeah.
And I can't betray Jared. By the way, the Subway melt is very tasty.
3 of them's even better.
Okay, so before we came out here, some of you know Andrew and John and I were in England.
I felt Jamie was there too.
Oh,
yeah,
well,
chill.
Jamie is always there. Jamie's like, is at the airport when you get off the plane.
I was there in spirit.
We can't really talk about. We went to the set. You guys know. we got permission to sort of broadly talk, but if we say the wrong thing, we're all going to be killed.
I
So
think there's some snipers out
there
there.
are, I know there
Windows.
are, for certain. But anyway, it was your guys' first time to the set, so what was that like for you?
You basically walk into, and it's no joke, like Melissa told me this before we went on the trip, you walk into a Harry Potter world because it is just a gigantic studio set. It's divided in, I think, 4 main areas, right? Each one has there was press and costumes in one, there was different areas of the sets. It was just, I'm not gonna sit here and post about it or talk, it was just amazing, it was really cool. Right, John?
Before we even got off the bus.
It was okay, I guess.
Before we even got off the bus, there were little Harry Potter this and that. Like in the field, there was something called the Harry Potter mill, where I don't know what they processed out there, but it's just, I suppose wood for the sets, I guess. But no, everything without getting into too many details. One thing we're told is they never throw away anything. So anything that's ever been in any of the movies is there in one form or another. It's either there or it's out here on this VIP tour.
So every time we had a break, Vanessa, who's one of the publicists, and some of the other publicists would have to search for where we were because we were sort of running around in a little warehouse going, look at that, look at that. There's 5 Ford Anglias just up on a cart somewhere, and it's it never gets old. This was my 3rd time, and it does not. What they do out there is just unbelievable. Some of the big, I wish I could tell you.
Well, some of the neat things that we saw, we're actually happy to be able to talk about because they were released as some of the pictures.
Yes, those
They
pictures
came
were
out.
What did I
fabulous.
do when I saw that one
We
picture?
saw the picture of the DA.
I think I made a noise. Imagine it, right? There's this giant wall of we've seen probably 100 production stills, and there was in the center this DA picture, and I went like this, I just sort of attacked it because it was just so, it's so beautiful, it's so perfect. They're standing there badass, come get us, get us.
How many people here have that as their wallpaper? That picture is awesome.
Perfect wallpaper set. The slightly creepy looking guy.
He's a Hufflepuff too.
He's the somewhat
Hufflepuffs are always
doubtful
slightly
boy.
creepy.
We are. I know. Yeah.
He's in the book as the somewhat doubtful boy.
Somewhat doubtful, or is it, which one was doubtful? Which one
Zacharias
was creepy?
Smith.
Well, who's the creepy one? Is he Ravenclaw or Slytherin?
Who, the dark guy?
Darkers?
Maybe he's Michael Corner or his
Oh, Michael
equivalent.
Corner, yeah.
Could be.
Could be Michael Corner, but he's not named. If he's not named, forget it. He's not going to be named in the film. Otherwise, they put his name on the, on the thing.
What do you guys make of Ginny not wearing a skirt? Make it end.
I love it. It's because she's a bad.
What'd you think, Kevin? What'd you think?
I thought it was pretty cool.
Student.
No, I saw it. I mean, it was your generic.
It sounds like anything you've ever seen.
Something I feel obligated to mention. Vanna Lynch is kind of cute. I have to admit.
I was surprised. What about D. Thomas? How tall he was? He's huge.
Shut up.
He's taller than twins.
And
his hair is.
Didn't they put him next to the shortest kid?
I know. Nigel's going on second year.
Why is Nigel in the DA?
Second years aren't allowed.
Who is Nigel? This is the one
We think he's the messenger kid. That's gonna
We think he's gonna he's gonna take Dobby's place. That's what we think. Speculation. We think he's gonna take. They didn't tell us this. We think he's gonna take Dobby's place, and so they don't have to animate Dobby. We can't say.
So, okay, I have to ask
It could be an
about
effort.
my second favorite color. Did we not see a lot of pink in these pictures? Somebody was pink. The devil wears pink. Miss Umbridge. She was something. Did you love her desk? Who here loved that desk? Isn't that cool? And those cats.
The little plates.
What do you guys think about those cats on Umbridge?
Can we talk about the cats?
No. Well, here's a big secret about the cats. If you look closely, Moochka's in there.
No, jeez.
She's not a wine. No, we can't talk about it.
Let me just put it this way. They put a lot of work in those plates. It's just amazing the detail that they do. I mean,
Oh, you'll find out eventually.
That's bad explanation.
You'll find out about 3 days after the movie comes out. And you've seen it all yourself.
No, actually, if they look really hard, they can see that they photoshopped Dan, Emma, and Rupert's faces into the cats. If you look, they worked them together. It's true. Right?
It's Hermione from movie 2.
Yes.
Not really.
Speaking of Hermione, they actually have that full, in that Warner Brothers thing, sorry, that just made me flashback. You can see her, she's there, that dummy, you know when she was like petrified with basilisks, she's there. It was really cool, it's really freaky. You're not allowed to touch anything, but you're like wanting to go up and just, it's okay.
See, it's a good thing Ben wasn't there, because he would have tried to play Sleeping Beauty. And he would have got us all kicked out.
We also met a really lovely new girl named Ivana Lynch. I can't even tell you I love her. I want to make her pasta. That's all I can say. I love her.
Can I talk about her for a second? Me and Ivana have this special thing. This is the thing that kills me because I
can see the avatars already.
Shippers, beware.
No, don't start that, sir, please.
What would you call it? What would you call it? Andrew Ivana?
What do you call it?
Evandrew.
Evandrew?
Maybe
That's what you're saying about her.
She's kind of nice.
She's very soft-spoken.
She's like this big. She's like this mic stand big.
I think you're exaggerating just a bit.
No, but she's so little and tiny. It's adorable.
Yeah. Oh, but we talked with her. We can't say what she said about the set, but when she saw us, I can say this, right?
So cute.
When she saw us, she walks in, and it was this very intimate little setting. We have this semicircle, we're around whoever we're interviewing, they're like sitting right there. And she sits down, and she's very nervous. She was very nervous because she hasn't done these interviews or stuff like that before. She's a brand new actress. She sits down, she points at me, and she says,
You're Andrew.
I know you. You're Andrew. And I said, yeah.
Well, we were sort of expecting that because we've been told that she was a spellcast and
Yeah, well, that's how she found
That's what we figured.
about the auditions.
Yeah. But then,
She typed in Leaky wrong, and it ended
Well, after all, it's kind of hard to type in the hyphen.
LeakyNews.com is the wave of the future. So listen, so I asked a question, thinking that, and she just looked at me. She goes, "You're Melissa," and I was like, "This," and she goes, and she said, "And I listen to your podcasts," and she's looking back and forth between me and Andrew.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Well, this is John from Podcast," and she goes, "Oh,
Who are you?
You look different." The cutest thing. And then she wouldn't talk, and we couldn't figure out why. And she just went, I'm sorry, I'm starstruck by you guys. I wanted to make her
So it's the opposite of how it really should have been.
Yeah, it was.
Well, and then she's like, but where's Ben?
Yeah.
He's my favorite! He's my favorite!
Most people say that.
But anyway, she's adorable, and wait until you do hear the very honest and wonderful things that she says. It's great.
She is as big a fan as any one of us.
Bigger.
She also said while she was leaving that she planned on coming into one of these live podcasts one day.
She can come up here anytime.
She said, I'd like to come to one of your live shows. We're like, you can come on one of the live shows. Like, you know.
She just said, no, I want to just come watch. So you guys come to any other future Leaky Mug, who knows who could be in the audience next to you.
Well, we were teasing.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ivana.
We were teasing that if she goes to a premiere, like a book premiere, all she has to do is dress like herself and put a hat. People say to her, "Oh, you look just like that girl from the movie."
Yeah, exactly. I told her she should wear a Hagrid mask.
Yeah.
No one would ever write.
One person asked her, so are you still gonna buy the books?
Oh, don't spoil it. Best story ever. I feel like
she almost cried. She was like, no, I'm still going to buy the books. And then she said
no. So she goes, oh, sorry, I did it, didn't I? She goes, no. She goes, no, you have to pay for them. Very seriously, like he had just, taken her lunch away or something. No, you have to pay for them.
Then she told us this story about how she'll go into bookstores, and when they're discounted, she said they're like $5 or something, or
The
£5.
paperbacks are probably pretty cheap.
And she's so upset about the discounted price that she'll actually take the price tags off.
And stick them elsewhere so that people don't know they're on sale, because it's an insult. You do not put a Harry Potter book on sale. Hear that, Borders? I thought I saw a discount wrap.
She really is a fan It's so interesting to see how a fan goes onto the set like that, because she was telling us all this stuff, but it was, she's just a true fan. That's really the only way to describe her, as a true fan. And what's looking to be a very good Luna.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, of all the times we've seen previews and whatever, and the look at this movie, getting the first of all, because when we went, there wasn't a single picture released yet, so it was basically like walking in and just sensory overload. We didn't know what to do with ourselves first, but it is the one that has made the movie it's about seem the most wonderful, and I was not expecting that with this movie, because it's so big and so dense and so emotional, hard, you guys know, and but like it's gonna be, I have to say, it's gonna be great if it lives up to this.
Well, if they keep up with what they're doing, because when I saw that Luna picture come out, and I'm like, fab earrings. She's got the radish earrings. I was like, thank you for paying attention to that. That was brilliant.
I have to stab a guess at those earrings because one minor, probably irrelevant, stupid detail that I could probably talk about is, no, not stupid, it's pretty cute, is that she likes to make her own jewelry. And she was wearing a ring that she made herself out of these little beads. She said she likes to bead. And those radishes look like they were made out of beads. So I would have to guess it's possible maybe she made the earrings herself. Which would make... Yeah.
I thought didn't she say that? She made she made the rings and something else.
She had a ring on, but that was all she was wearing. But that would make sense because you want your Luna, the girl will be playing the Luna, to be into that stuff.
It's got that like dreamy, like she lives on her own sort of area. And she's great.
She cares. And that makes sense because she did care very much about the scenes. She said that she was filming. She was almost telling people what to. She was making suggestions about the set. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, we saw some other really good pictures. I have to bring up one more. Dudley. Did we dance?
Dudley.
He's got bling. I was like,
Actually, he looks totally different. I almost didn't recognize him. You have to like lay him side by side, from previous movies just to realize it's the same person.
John saw him. John saw the picture this morning, and he said, "Is that the same person playing Dudley?"
I know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, we haven't
looks
seen
like
him
him.
since
Harry Melling is name, right?
Harry Melling.
Right? We
You know
didn't
what
see
he-
him in Goblet.
No.
We saw him in Aspen.
Aspen. But you know what he looked like he was doing? He looked like he was doing Jamie from the second movie going Scar. In the photo. Do you know what I'm talking about? Exactly.
I was in the second movie.
Well, you should have been all of it. He's got a British accent.
Should we bring up the dreaded H word?
Hair?
I wish I knew.
Freaking hair.
Has everyone? Do you guys not laugh when they were talking about Dan's hair? I mean, is it horrible? Do you really think? Who here say I think Dan's hair looks horrible?
Oh, no.
Well, who doesn't say no? It looks right.
Yeah,
What should we say if they like it? Looks great. Yeah,
you like it?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I think
You'll see me in the right
Well, he was quoted in that interview.
In the
Newsweek interview, which was really good.
Yeah.
It's safe to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much gave us the exact same quote that was quoted in that article about how fourth year Harry had all this long hair and all this blood and dirt matted into it, and it was cool for that movie. But what did he say? He felt like he, over the summer, would go home
Harry
and chop it off himself.
Well, the hairdresser was
Great.
also quoted in one of those articles, and he said that we were trying to make him look older, and the long hair was making him look younger. And I get it. Harry's hair grows like that. That's true, but you have to think that he got magically powerful.
Doesn't he need to look younger though?
I think it was
the same.
Well, he's still not quite very tall yet, though, so he's not looking that old.
I think short hair makes it better for it to stick out, rather than long hair that just lays flat.
It's true. I mean, their hair was all too long. All of them was too long.
Yeah.
He's also
Ruben,
got
too.
sort of the hero jaw going on now. The hero jaw, What about Trelawney, guys?
Looking very worn down in this film.
The hair, it's great.
Hairstyle.
The hair.
It was very humid at that time of year.
I just hope they have that out Sherry Bottle. I get to see her. Because Emma Thompson is just a fabulous actress. I just think she's hilarious. She can convey so much.
Well, the other person in the scene was Imelda Thompson.
Yeah.
How great.
Yeah. She's
Staunton.
We didn't get to talk to
Oh, did I say
Imelda
Thompson? I'm
Thompson.
sorry.
Yeah, but both of them with her. And well, Maggie Smith too who's no slouch either.
We saw her costume today at the thing. It's very regal. It's very big and green and blue stuff sticking McGonagall.
Oh, that's right.
Stuff sticking out.
McGonagall, Dumbledore, all of the old ball dresses and costumes, all at the VIP tour.
It's awesome.
Another plug for the VIP tour.
Yes.
They Warner Brothers.
Who else did you interview?
Dan.
He said it on the site, Gary Oldman, which is a huge surprise to
Gary
everyone.
Oldman for about 13, 14 minutes.
Wow.
It was crazy. Even one of the publicists came in and was like, you guys aren't going to believe this. She doesn't do interviews.
She dropped hints. She was like, "This person is I don't even know what the hints were, but nobody
He wears a
picked up on it."
stash
Like,
and a beard.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm like,
and it was really.
I don't know
For a
what the
second, for a
I don't know what
second.
the words mean.
We made an effort to ask him questions because what happens when you talk to Gary Oldman? So when you talk to this guy, he will look you straight into the eye. He's got these piercing blue eyes. He'll look you straight into the eye and just talk.
Staring contest,
He was also a very funny guy. He he told us some pretty funny stories.
which you'll hear later.
Yeah, so
But no, it's totally. He looks at you and it's like you're trying to quickly get smarter.
yeah.
You know, you're like, I don't want to be like an idiot in front of Gary Oldman. He got some kind of questions too, which is good, I'm sure.
Yeah, so we talked to Dan, Emma Watson, Gary Oldman.
There's someone else.
David Barron,
Some
David
other
Barron.
guys.
Oh,
Look at
Some
that.
weirdo in a Pam Anderson wig.
Came in with, I don't even know, what was he
John
wearing?
said to him, "That is an outfit," and he goes, "No, that is a fraction of an outfit," because he was wearing a lot of stuff.
They got to speak to my man Jason Isaacs. They breathed the same air he was in. I just was like,
So, Jason, producer David Heyman, producer David Barron, and
Katie there?
no, we didn't see her actually.
No Rupert.
Rupert
no
wasn't on
Matt.
set that day either.
No matter.
No Robert for some reason.
Cedric the Goat?
There was one more person.
Another person?
I guess
David Barron, David Heyman,
Radcliffe, Watson,
Radcliffe Watson, Oldman,
Oh, Ivana.
Ivana.
Obviously.
Olive.
We looked
His first picture.
We did see some
He saw his picture.
production stills of him. He looks awesome. He looks awesome.
Don't you
Now
think
everybody needs to have their dollars shines ready at the premiere. I know some of you will probably end up out there. He's been warned it's coming. He has been warned. Matthew
Talked to him when we were
has
looking.
warned him.
Oh, right. Matthew Lewis was going to go warn him for us.
Yes.
I'm sorry, just imagining Matthew Lewis walking over to Dulles and be like, "Look,
I gotta tell you something.
gotta tell you something. There's this weird guy on a podcast." So after all these pictures, what do you guys think about how the movie is shaping up? Do you get the same feeling that we got when we came away from the set?
You saw the pictures, you saw Umbridge for the first time, you saw a new look for Trelawney. I'm sure there's Dumbledore's army.
I don't know, but for me, I've liked each movie more and more progressively. So
Yeah, same.
Yes.
I don't think it's. I mean, based on the pictures, you can't really get the same feelings that you have if you actually go visit the set for a day, because you actually get to see a scene being filmed, or whatever, as opposed to seeing just stills. I mean, I don't know. I think it'll be all right.
Order of the Phoenix, hands down, best film ever. Leaky live in New York. Anyone pick
No,
up?
I want to argue with Ben a little bit on there. I know it's exciting and everything to go to the set, but you can't. I think you can probably get more of a feeling sometimes about the movie, because when you watch a scene being filmed,
You have no idea what's going on.
I mean, you sit around the blocked off area and watch on a screen. It's not like you're like, you know, in the thick of it.
Like
And
blindfold.
Harry's
Well,
walking
I
by
think
you,
after
you
you
know?
ask the actors and actresses questions about the movie, you'd probably get a better idea about how it's shaping up.
Just some point.
I don't know, maybe a little bit, but I don't think that these are gonna like make or break. I think the pictures were probably the biggest, you know, thing to happen, even for us to see. Of everything we did at the set, seeing those pictures just flipped us out.
Well, yeah, and the pictures also sort of tell the story from what scene they were in, and that kind of tells us what has been left in this movie.
Right.
Because there's really no way to know otherwise. And I think one that came out that, I don't know if it was a surprise to too many people, but when they saw Dan covered in, sweat, or maybe he was swimming. Just wound up, we're thinking, okay, that's got to be, at the very beginning with the Dementor, and okay, good, that's awesome, that's in the movie.
Well, I mean, for me, though, seeing those pictures, if they're making details that, Luna is wearing those earrings, and there was another photo that we saw too of the trio, and it looked like, I don't know if it's Grimald Place or not, but
The House Head, I think.
Is it?
And I don't say that from knowledge, we did not see the House
But I
Head.
was looking at the graffiti, I mean, because we're obsessive when we look at this little minute details in the background. And just if they're making that attention to detail, that means there's somebody, that there's the extra care going into this film, and that gives me a lot of encouragement. Because this is a really special book. So.
Mm-hmm.
Has there ever been another series that just completely gets so in great leaps and bounds progressively better with each installment? I don't know. I think people would argue with you about that. I know people who would argue with you. I like Fellowship more than any of the other two films.
I don't know, I like Goosebumps. They progressed quite a bit.
There's such a joke to be made there, but I'm letting it go.
What about the kiss?
What kiss?
Oh, we sat there and watched them film it, and it's really wet, and
They have a picture of it
No.
on the wall. Like,
if they did, we couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay.
But there wasn't.
But
You're gonna get
no,
us in
he
so
didn't,
much trouble.
Dan's talked about that in previous interviews.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, and of course the media goes wild and they take that, 30 times thing.
We didn't bother him with that.
Well, girls don't like Dan Radcliffe, so I'm sure he's never had the opportunity to kiss a girl before.
Well, I think that's something.
Move on.
Oh, yeah. Questions?
Let's move on.
Well, I think that we do this at every live show. We about precisely 48 minutes into the production, we do voicemails. Or voice people, as we're calling them.
So we should have a microphone floating around somewhere.
Well, somebody's
Ladies
got
and
it.
gentlemen, Mr. Eric Sko!
We're going to welcome a different Mugglecasty guest up here.
Yes. We have this awesome wireless mic now, so Eric can go around, instead of bringing people up, Eric can go around.
Laura Thompson.
And get questions. So welcome back. I'll introduce him into it.
So, hi guys.
Sporting, I love your Hogwarts muscle shirt.
Yeah. It's new, he just got it today, right?
I just got it today. I didn't
bought like the whole store.
He did.
I did. I didn't count on this being a muscle shirt though. I just kind of put off by that.
I know. I bought it.
He wasn't comfortable, so I tried to get him to trade me, because I knew I'd look much better in that shirt. He wasn't really up for it.
That's okay. So I think the show is going great so far. Would you guys agree? And now, of course, we realize we get a little modest here. We realize that one of the largest reasons we are here is because of you, the fans.
Don't make me cry.
Come on, it's true. It's true, Ben. You love it. And
We'd like to.
Music gonna start
Are
playing?
you going to sing?
I don't have a song planned, I promise. Hi, Frank. Okay. Anyway, so I guess now we're going to take questions, right?
Yeah, that was the plan. That's why we just sit there.
That was the plan. Okay. People are already raising their hands for it. I don't know, is there going to be any order to this at all? Any
Eric, go ahead and call on the girl you think is the cutest.
Are you gonna... Oh, no. Actually, the girl I think is the cutest is actually not here with me right now. She is currently
for the past 2 weeks.
the other end of this ocean. Actually, of the Pacific Ocean. She lives in New Zealand, where I spent the previous 2 weeks before coming here in California, and I won't talk too much then. But
Hey, Eric, there's a cutie over there in the corner, standing by the beam.
okay, we'll start with her. Okay, all right. Questions. Alrighty. Hi. What's your name?
Caitlin.
Caitlin. Where are you from?
I'm from Maui, but I go to school here now.
That's really cool.
How did you leave Maui?
For university.
There's a university. I want to live there.
You go to USC. That's the USC is the film school, right? Where all the great directors went, like Steven Spielberg. Yes.
Hey, do you have a question?
Yes, you have a question. Okay, sorry, Ben. Yes, question.
Okay, so I wanted to know if you guys had given any more thought to the invisibility cloak that J.K. Rowling had mentioned, or if anybody, somebody has an idea. Yeah.
Let's hear your idea.
So,
Your idea.
okay, before you get your idea, we get...
This is Yvonne. We know her.
Yvonne?
She is the wife of our lovely audio guy, Chris Knudsen, who's over there somewhere.
Okay, then everybody get ready for a really good invisibility.
So what exactly is your question?
Okay, I'm scared to death. Okay, my sister and I have made a habit of discussing Harry Potter for a long time now, and we spent 4 years. I'm supposed to stand up. Okay, I am standing up. I'm short.
Great shirt.
Sure. So we spent 4 hours last week discussing the NAQ, and at the end, I think we came up with the answer. And we were so relieved, we just went, and now like, I'll give the short version though, okay, because this is a podcast. Okay.
Have about, yeah.
Yeah, short version. Okay. I started. Okay, what we believe, is that at one point, Dumbledore, after being told by Lily and James, no, you're not going to be our secret keeper. That's not a Dumbledore kind of thing to say, okay, that we think that he backed off and said, oh, right, and then decided to protect them in other ways that they didn't know about. But in the meantime, he said to James at one point, he said, you know that lovely invisibility cloak that you guys have, why don't you give it to me and I will add my protections to it for Harry. And James, of course, would say, of course, here it is. And what we believe leads us to that is that in the 9 years he had the cloak before he gave it to Harry, he had plenty of time to do this. The one thing he added was a tracking device. That somehow, yeah, see, she got it too. There we go. See, no. It's a tracking device that Dumbledore always knows where that cloak is. If you notice, let's go back. Okay, canon. A few canon little things here. You go back in any book and you can find out that, here's for instance, Harry and Hermione take Norbert up to the tower. They leave the cloak there, they get in trouble, blah, blah, blah. Who brings back the cloak? Dumbledore. How does he know it's up there? How does he know to give it to him? How is it that Dumbledore always knows when Harry's in trouble, he always has the cloak with him?
But why is that significant? Dumbledore's dead.
Okay, well, but, and the Mirror said he always knows where it is. But, and notice in book 6, let me finish, Ben, I know. I argue with you on the podcast, but you just can't hear me. Love you, Ben. In book 6, Dumbledore commands Harry to keep the cloak with him at all times. I think that's because he always wanted to know where Harry was. Even if you picked up a port key and ended up zapped off somewhere again, he would know where he is. And then, what? Oh, and how is it that Dumbledore, Mr. Almighty Dumbledore, always knows about where Harry is and what kind of trouble he was in? Because he always had that cloak with him. But doesn't know, like, the Weasley twins are getting trouble. Doesn't know about the map. Doesn't know about the Marauders and stuff that they're doing. I think what's crucial about this, okay, this is what you want to know, is not necessarily the tracking device, but what else did he add in 9 years? I think the clue that there's something was added are all these clues we've been given by Jo and her Jo way, that we don't notice it for 6 books. And then she says it's crucial, well, because of the things she didn't tell us. Okay, I don't know what else he added. This is Dumbledore.
Great theory.
That's a spiel. How about that? That was longer than some of my answers to those guys. Seriously.
Because he does say, I would like you to bring your invisibility cloak in book 6, but the question of why it's crucial might not.
Yeah, I still don't understand. What was your question? Do you have a question?
Yeah, kind of bridging.
About that, yeah, and also like what other thoughts you'd given, and if you thought maybe there was a possibility that Snape had this cloak before, because I know that Snape recognizes it as being Harry's cloak when they go into the Whomping Willow and stuff. And is it possible like that someone, maybe not Snape, but someone was there the night that Harry's parents were killed with the cloak, do you think?
My question about Snape is why hasn't he taken it away? That's the big question to me.
Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Wouldn't let him have it.
I don't know, so what do you guys think? Is there
Well, I think we all discussed this the same week. As soon as Joe released that question, we were like, all right, that's going to be our discussions. We did kind of run. You guys did the main discussion, and basically we all came away from it with migraine headaches. It's such a huge question. Huge question. It's our choices, Harry.
It's enormous.
It is our choices, Harry.
Thanks for that, Ben.
And what would Hagrid say?
What? Okay, let's take another.
Rubeus Hagrid.
There's actually jumping in this house, so we're gonna go over here. Hi, everybody. Don't start jumping now. You're too late. You've missed it. Okay, and I believe you were jumping. What is your name?
Emma.
Emma?
See the question?
Okay, where are you from?
Right here, Los Angeles.
Right here, Los Angeles. Anybody else here from Los Angeles?
Why is that so surprising?
All right, so that is not surprising. You're right, Andrew. What is your question, Emma?
I'm sorry, I'm hyperventilating. I can't talk.
Okay, seriously, do you need paper bags? Okay, we're good.
My question is, where do you think Voldemort got that little mutant baby blob body thing? Like, my theory is that he possessed a baby, and I know that's a little gruesome and nasty, but it is possible. So I'm just wondering what you guys have to think about that.
You mean Voldemort's human form that was kind of like really grotesque and
Yes.
the one that he had in the beginning of presumably like throughout book 4, where he dumped him in the pond. What do you guys think? What is that thing?
Certainly something he possessed at one point.
Well, yeah.
I don't think after Godric's Hollow he had any body to speak of.
Yeah, I found a mutant blob thing to possess.
Well,
Joe
he
said he wasn't
mutated it
psychopath,
from his
so-
possession. His possession warped it into something gross looking. I don't
Maybe
know.
then?
No, Voldemort is not reproducing, no.
Bellatrix!
Have a body.
No!
You're not a Bellatrix Voldemort?
No, I am not a shipper of him and lovely Bellatrix. You must die.
So you do sort of wonder if he gets his way and he has like to make this whole race of purebloods, how he's going to do it without like helping out the cause. You know what I'm saying? There's very few wizards who can. Anyway.
Melissa, would you bear Voldemort's children?
Yeah, Ben. Clearly, I'm the Voldemort child bearer, sort of other character here.
Okay, and I want to get sort of everybody in this audience that want a podcast from or want to ask questions. If there's anybody in the bathroom who hasn't been able to see the show, something like that. But right now we have right next to Emma is the girl who sent you guys the lovely presents, the lovely gifts. I just thought if she had a question,
You get to ask a question.
we're gonna have to keep it short, but she is definitely entitled to ask a question. So please,
ask it.
Kaylee.
Kaylee, and where are you from? Are you from Los Angeles?
England. Originally England, but yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. Okay, and what is your question?
Is Percy Weasley a Death Eater?
No.
Hey, he knew Harry in school.
Yeah.
But the minute the ministry said he was a nutcase, he believed them because they thought the ministry would give give himself the better future, and he knew Dumbledore. Why would he believe he was a nut job? He just believed it just because the ministry said it was. Who's to say that he doesn't believe Voldemort could give him an even better future?
Well, something that's interesting is there are a lot of
Bad.
I don't know.
Gryffindor, there's bravery that benefits the bad side, there's ambitiousness that benefits the good side. What I wonder...
It's a common trend for some of the people in Slytherin to be Death Eaters. I mean, it's more likely. You can't deny
Well,
that.
right, it's a little bit more, it's more likely, but what Joe made very clear in the interview from last year is that we only know all these Slytherin Death Eaters because that's the lens through which we're seeing them. We're seeing it through Malfoy and his gang. The large portion of Slytherins are not Death Eaters. But I gotta wonder if Percy's an unforgivable. Not unforgivable, what's the word? Unspeakable, thank you.
I think he's been spying for the Order this whole time.
I do too.
I think that he's had to keep up this whole. He's off his rocker, so Fudge can be all like, "You're right, he is off his rocker. Come here and be my boy," you know?
Because if you read his letter again, keeping that in mind, go back and read that. Keep that thought in mind and go back and read that letter that he wrote.
To who? He's helping Harry. Ron?
To Ron about Harry. Go back and read that again with that in context in the back of your mind.
Okay, if he's telling Ron to not associate himself with Harry, it makes sense because what if Voldemort was to ask Percy to try to use his brother to get the Harry few? That's a whole bunch of what ifs, but you know, there's might be a connection there.
It seems like.
What?
They're just taking.
You really think Ron would disassociate himself?
What's going on here? I was standing back there. They were taking pictures, and amid a flash, another beam of light caught my eye. It was just this girl's motherland sticker, which she has on her forehead. And I just wanted to gleam of it. I would have known.
Hey, a question.
I'm sorry. Okay, so let me just get back here. Hello. What is?
I'm Jules, Los Angeles.
That's another name. Okay. And your question for the panel, please.
First I have a comment. You guys wanted us to say how MuggleCast helps us in our daily lives.
Chicken soup for the Muggle.
And I just wanted to tell you, I had this huge English project, and I was dying. Day before, I put on MuggleCast, and I listened for 12 episodes, and I do the whole thing. And in my
I'm sorry.
Concentrate, that's what I want.
And then in my introduction, I thanked my mom and MuggleCast.
What did you get on your project?
I got an A.
Very good.
But anyways, I wanted to ask you guys what you thought of Tongue's hair. I thought it was rather purple and
Movie?
long.
What picture? There's no
In the
picture.
movie.
There's no picture. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, not the ones you and Andrew would have seen, but there was one released. Remember when they were doing the really far away images? Far away images.
It's a picture of Tongues that was taken by.
They weren't official pictures.
Right.
They were
just like
weren't official.
very far.
The thing I'm getting at is.
Yeah, well, we get what you're saying, but
Okay.
Oh,
I
right.
mean, I don't know. I've read comments online from people. Some people don't seem too happy with it. I don't know. Everyone eventually.
You
just
have
seems
not
like-
gotten a fair look at Tonks yet.
We haven't gotten a fair. Yeah,
What?
that's true.
Oh, and Jamie, my friend Ari, wants to say that she loves you.
Okay, anyway, next question. Thank you. All right, right over here.
No more hair questions.
Okay. Yes,
The H word.
okay. Hello.
Hi,
What's your name?
my name is Sam.
Sam? Nice to meet you, Sam. Where are you from?
I'm from Thousand Oaks.
Where is that? No, is it just in California?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, what is your question? Sam.
Right, I was curious, like, I know that you guys, like, when movie 4 came out, you were all like, woohoo, movie 4! No, you guys, and everyone else, they were also excited about movie 4.
Oh.
But, after, having waited a few months, because I know that I saw Harry Potter 3 and was like, yeah, it rocks. Then, a few months after, I'm like, this sucks. It's terrible. I'm a purist, yeah, you have to understand, this coming from a purist, like...
What's your question?
Okay. What do you honestly think of the 4th movie after all this time? Like, in context of the books, did it really honestly do the books justice, like with all the details?
Well, something that's interesting is, like you said, after you see the movie, especially after the podcast we had, there was this whole, oh my gosh, we just saw the movie, the emotion, exhilaration, you're on this high, and you say, oh, it was awesome, it was a great movie, and then the next week on our shows, we all rip it apart, say how terrible it was.
Generally what happens.
I think. But at least on our show, we have always been honest about our feelings on that movie, and we have never. I mean, I will be honest. I've openly talked about how I've been unhappy with the screenwriter, and I am still quite a fan of all 4 of his movies. But so I mean, to say that we're always woohoo blatantly is not true.
People just have to accept that the movies are different from the books because of time constraints. I mean, special effects constraints are pretty much out of the question, but people just have to accept it. I don't know how people
supposed
can
to copy them
expect.
directly though. That you have a book series and you have a movie series, but they shouldn't automatically be linked.
But what do you think, since Order of the Phoenix was 870 pages long, what do you guys think in terms of translating it from a book to a movie? How do you think that's going to turn out?
That's gonna be. I think that's an impossible task.
Well, I mean,
They're going to lose a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no doubt. I mean, they lost a lot in Goblet of Fire, too. And I think what's important to remember is that these movies are good as a fan event. It's fun to go to the movies, at midnight. It's fun to go to the premiere. Yeah. But after that, it kind of dies down a little bit. And I think that for that, the movies have done the books justice and getting the fans excited.
Yeah, I mean, no one is saying, here's the Goblet of Fire movie. It is going to replace your Goblet of Fire book.
Right.
This is Goblet of Fire now. No one is saying that. All this is is this is an awesome way to make some of all of that stuff that you read in the book come to life in a different way, and to see it on screen, and to do some things that some very creative people and very talented people can do that some of our imaginations can't quite do on their own, and present that for everybody. And there's always going to be things that they can't keep, because I think someone said recently it's like trying to cram an elephant into a phone booth. It is, and you can't do it, but I think they did a decent job in leaving most of the things we wanted to see in that movie.
I want to disagree. I'm sorry. The
You're not allowed
movies.
to do that.
I know. I stink. The movies, yes, will always, no matter what they produce, they will be fan events. They will not replace the books. They are going to be. But I want art from the Harry Potter movies. I want it. These are my cherished books. I want them to get better and better and better. And yes, they are cramming elephants into phone booths. They've done it for 4 films. Now do it better for film 5. Now bring us more of the characters. Now, I mean, you know. No excuses anymore.
Jumbo elephant. You need a bigger elephant.
No, but you know what? If you really give that eye to it, and you go back, I mean, you could probably just like take a scissor and cut out massive portions of it that in a movie are like that. Yeah, don't start me on that. As long as it's replaced by something else that shows Ron's growth, I'll be okay. I can understand them cutting the Quidditch. It's that they're not going to replace it with something else that shows that Ron has grown as a character. Because so far, he has not grown as a character almost at all.
And it's awful, and all they've done is take photos of him looking like he has a stomachache. It's like, what's this kid doing?
I still haven't recovered while they had Hermione say that line, and that's the one, you know.
Yeah, movie 3.
When that happens.
Yes, if you want to kill Harry, you'll have to kill us too. That's just a change like that. That it's so there's no reason. I mean, he's in the scene. You don't even have to pay him for an extra day's work.
It's not nearly as bad as in Goblet of Fire when they butchered the Dumbledore thing. You know, the Dumbledore speech at the end about Cedric. Yeah.
This is the thing. I mean, we can't really complain when they take out things, but when they do things that they do put it in and they do it wrong. like
Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
I know. That's the stuff that I don't think is excusable. Yeah, I don't think you can excuse that, but I think.
Well, we love the movies. It's not like that. I mean, I watched them. They're amazing. You know, but we want them to continually get better. So it's our job to be as honest about them as humanly
We're
possible.
always the most critical of things that we love the most, and
Exactly right.
and you're all here from that common love for all this stuff, and I think if there's ever any opportunity any of us have in any of these set visits or any of the feedback that we can give that represent what you guys think, then we'll do that, and that's what we've been doing, and hopefully we'll see another awesome 3 movies. I mean, we've already seen a lot more fan communication with everybody, even with, I don't know if anybody plays the video games, but we had awesome conversations with the guys who are putting together the new Order of Pigs video game.
You can't talk about freely.
We can't talk about
No, you can. You can.
We can
They
talk
said
about
we're
it
fine.
really?
Talk
Oh
about
my gosh.
Well, guys, this is a pretty long voicemail. Not that I don't want to hear about it.
It is a fun
Oh.
time. Who wants to hear
seriously.
about the changes for the 5th
Okay.
video game?
Anybody want to changes? We'll jump on real quick. We have the biggest Harry Potter fan leading this game. His name's Matt, and he knows just about everything you can possibly know
I want to do an impression.
about. Oh, okay.
He was showing us a video game and he's showing us where you can go in the castle and you can go to the classes. He goes, guys, you can do the homework that they do in the
that's cool.
So excited. You get to write potions, essays.
If the movies can't appease the purists, then maybe this video game can, because he says that they're going through the book. He's read the book probably 25 times in the past few months. Every little detail that they can pull out of this thing, that they're talking about recreating the castle, making it as close as possible to the book and the movies. Every room is going to be included. The staircases are going to move when you're walking up them. You're going to be able to fall through stairs. They even included the little room that they find Hagrid and
Secrets.
The little,
and the little guy.
okay. You know, the broom cupboard or wherever where Hagrid was supposedly raising Aragog. Apparently this guy Matt, who is, in my impression, is done in the most loving way possible. He's awesome. He was wandering around it, and he said, I don't get this. What's this random room? They said that's, we put it in there, and he was,
Yeah.
so there's like 79 rooms or something.
It's incredible, and the coolest part about it is that you can go through Hogwarts not just to get from level to level, but to actually be in Hogwarts. And once you beat the level, once you beat the game, you can still hang out in Hogwarts. You can still play the stuff, and you can. It's almost more like. Sort of like a cross between The Sims, an RPG, and whatever everything else has been so far. There's things to find and unlock.
Well, the way they described it, I'm sorry.
There's a lot of mini games too. I mean, this is really.
Really?
They really care about, like, they showed this, they did this demo for us, and you had to just get the snitch, wake up a portrait, and then the portrait was like, find the snitch, and there's just these little things like that fans are really going to appreciate. And this game, they really cared about this game.
Well,
They put a lot of work into it.
the change that they described it is that the other ones are the Harry Potter. It's a video game that is to the Harry Potter storyline.
Yeah.
This one is Harry Potter happens to be a video game. So it's a huge
Harry
difference.
Potter video game format.
Yeah.
Really, and not to mention that this is a year that you're going to see a video game controller that can do this, like a at least 16 different spells from this game that will all be one movement. And supposedly it works awesome.
Now, my question for you is, how challenging is it?
He says that
They're still tweaking it, weren't they?
There's a learning curve, but I mean, you're able to use a little joystick too on your controller.
We didn't actually see them doing this.
We
He
didn't see
demoed
that
the
it has a
PS2
Wii. They
version.
didn't bring it out to the thing.
Yeah.
But he says he's, they have developed it with that in mind, and it supposedly works really nicely.
They did this time, full head scans of the actors. You would not believe, like down to the freckle.
They showed us a sample.
And they're talking about making sure that they can get as many of the actual actors to voice the characters as possible too, which is a big change. From
When Dan was on his way out from the interview, didn't they have him?
No.
Didn't they have him? Sorry about that. When Dan was on his way out, I could have almost sworn. Didn't he do a sound sample for Matt? Maybe I'm nuts. Maybe I'm nuts. He talked.
You
for
are
something.
that.
Huh?
I said you are.
Excuse me, Laura. You're fired. There's. I'm just kidding.
You're fired. Check out the EA Games report on Leaky for more details on that, and hopefully we can bring you some more on that soon. But let's get some more questions.
Yeah, we're salivating here, John. Okay, next question. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, what is your name?
Michaela.
Michaela, where are you from?
Claremont.
Claremont, California, okay. And what's your question?
I was wondering about the two-way mirror, because you guys were talking about how maybe he'll use it to talk to Sirius again, but I was wondering if it would be possible for Harry to talk to someone else with it.
We on Mugglecast, we talked about the connection of pairs, guys, would end if one is broken, but what do you guys think, and Leaky as well?
Well, we discussed whether it was the two-way mirror, there was only one version of them that James and Sirius had, or whether you could sort of go out to a store and buy them. And so, Walmart, they're starting to sell them now. No, but I think, did we conclude that we thought that...
We caught up at Walmart and
Sorry.
found that they sold. No.
Yeah. No, I thought that, I think we concluded that there was just one set of two-way mirrors, that they'd obviously, bought normal mirrors and Enchanted, and that you can change who it talks to, but you can't sort of use it for anyone. You can't just speak into it and say, I want to speak to someone else. So, and I think now that Sirius has died, Harry can't change it. So,
I got a question though, Jamie. I remember not too long ago there was a quote from Joe about how wizards don't need the internet because they have something cooler than
yeah.
Is that the portrait?
She said that
Is
the release of book 5, and I always thought that it was the portrait thing.
The portraits?
But the portraits can communicate things much faster.
That limits you to people who
That's not something wizards can do. I mean, unless
It's not better than the internet.
But she said it was.
You can't go on MySpace.
Well, she
Clearly.
Clearly. Well, that's sort of the same deal.
I don't know, I would love it if you could have, if more people had the mirrors, but something that we saw today that I noticed when we saw the Weasley plaque, it made me think, because all the hands on the Weasley clock looked like they were half of the scissors.
At the WB studio tour.
At the WB studio tour. And
Not at the set.
No, not at the set. And it made me think that, okay, maybe this is why there's only one Weasley clock, is because the Weasleys are, brilliant enough wizards to charm this object on their own. So I guess maybe Sirius and James could have developed a two-way mirror on their own.
It's the kind of thing they try and do.
Totally, yeah.
But Joe did say that it was important. I mean, obviously Harry breaking it is not the end of it. It's in his trunk.
Because Sirius is going to communicate with him again.
I'm guessing so.
You know what? He could be from the beyond or in the afterworld.
What
We don't know.
if-
Because Jo herself said she refused to answer that question. That's your answer.
Well, yeah, that mirror is off the table was the quote.
What's gonna happen if the souls do?
Well, here's the other thing. If Sirius and James used it, why didn't James and Lupin use it? Why didn't James and somebody else? So is there another mirror out there? Yeah, but if somebody else has another one.
How do you activate the mirror? Oh, do you have to say the person's name into it?
Oh yeah,
What if you
it's
said
like a
somebody else's
three-way
name
mirror.
into it?
Right.
Why have the trigger be a name and not just tapping it? There's only two-way.
Right.
If it was a name, maybe it was like a phone number.
Right.
That's true.
Maybe that's like a website address.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's the spell.
Don't forget the plus.
Now, here's another man named Raji, right? Is that correct? Raji? And he has a question related to WB. I don't know if it can be answered, but he said it might be close.
I just want to know what, those of you who went to the studio, what your favorite part of the studio was. Like, maybe
Studio
because,
tour?
Yeah,
Or?
no, just like the studio lot itself. Because, I mean, like, Harry Potter being Warner Brothers, it's not shot at Warner Brothers, but then you come to Burbank, and you see where the studio is headquartered, and, like, where it's run from, and what you guys got out of that experience.
Well, Eric can answer that question because he was there this morning.
We saw a lot of Gilmore Girls, actually.
It was awesome.
We saw
I love
it,
that
and
show.
And Sue was really into it. She took a picture. We have a picture of her on Leaky Galleries. I went with her next to the Gilmore mailbox. But it's really cool because all the houses on the lot have been used in several films, and in particular, one of the houses is actually the front of one of the mother's house, and the other side of the house is Kasuki's. Yeah, exactly. And so it was just interesting, all these houses on the set we were walking through, and some of the Gilmore Girls sets, like Kim's Antiques. The stairway inside was used for Friends in one of the old prom scenes.
You got a picture of that, right?
Yeah. We got pictures and all sorts of stuff. So it was just cool seeing all these things that have been used multiple times. We went on to one soundstage. We saw a set. They were not necessarily striking. They were getting it ready. We saw the estate, the grandparents'
There
estate.
it is. Sorry.
Oh, Melissa has it. You look.
Is this the stairs?
That's us and Frank.
The stairs that
the stairs that
Ross is playing the keyboard on?
Right.
The flashback video or the
We saw
video?
Friends, you can go back on it.
We saw the part where Phoebe ran through when she was jogging in one episode and things like that. Okay, but no, seriously, it's cool to see all the different films that Warner Brothers has made, throughout time, including Harry Potter. I mean, it's interesting because the downstairs of that museum, with Harry Potter being all upstairs, the downstairs is all the TV they've done through the years. All the Emmys and things like that. It's just WB is really big, but it seems that the upper story not being devoted to all the movies they've done, which would almost
Harry Potter.
Just Harry Potter.
That's
There's
somehow right
TV
there.
and there's Harry Potter.
I know who's coming to that thing.
Well, but here's
it shows the impact, and Warner Brothers has really struck gold with at least coordinating this whole thing and taking on
like what you said. What he said about the best part being that you were on these sets and the tour guide knowing enough to tell you such and such was filmed here, such and such was filmed there. So we went down this one street, and he says, "Oh, to your right is the building where it was the orphanage from Annie."
Yeah.
And then to your left is where they filmed Rent.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is like my perfect world right here.
The tour guides are in love with their job, and if anyone has not taken the tour, oh my God, 818-846.
Oh my God, you're Warner Brothers. You're a plant.
I am Jim Warner. Like.
Okay.
Hey, Eric,
I've never seen
you need to
someone-
get this girl with the orange hair.
Orange hair.
Orange hair.
Make sure Mike got
can you roll those pictures, man?
Well, I also have to get to that side of the room again, but I'll get the orange hair. Really gets you a voicemail. So, what's your name?
My name's Lindsay.
Lindsay. And where are you from?
I'm from Claremont, which is
California. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Question.
okay. I'm taking this back to Quidditch Through the Ages.
And in my lovely reading of it, I noticed they were talking about the guy who created the Golden Snitch, and his name was Bowman Wright, and he was from Godric's Hollow. And I thought, is it all? Okay. So Joe said that Harry inherited his money from his father, and his father inherited his money from his family. If he inherited all that money, is it all possible he inherited a house in Godric's Hollow? So maybe is that Harry and James's kind of small connection to Quidditch because they are related to the guy who created the Golden Snitch?
Yeah.
Quite possible. A theory I like even more, knowing that they're
That's
not
interesting.
related to the Gryffindors.
John, speak up.
It's not there.
That's nothing.
Well, no, that's not what she said. There was a point at which something she said seemed to shut that down, and I just said, well, that shuts down the era of Gryffindor theories, and she just went, yeah. Okay.
Is this in
what she
the
said.
Emerson New interview with J.K. Rowling?
Yes.
Okay.
The interview from last summer. I'm sorry, I always assume everybody knows. If you don't know, Emerson from Mullet and I did an interview with J.K. Rowling last summer on the release of the 6th book. So there.
Okay, so walking over, thank you for that. And I also want to think that for all you spies in the Harry Potter series who read really into it, Quidditch Through the Ages also mentions a certain dangerous Di Llewellyn is his name. And actually at St. Mungo's, one of the wards was named after this dangerous Di Llewellyn, which was kind of cool to make a reference in another one of J.K. Rowling's works in a Harry Potter work. And I don't know if it's significant, I don't think it is, but it's cool. Okay, hi, hello, sir.
Hey, I'm Quinn from Glendale. I was
California?
California, yeah. I was wondering what your thoughts on the release date for the 7th book are. She said that she's only about halfway through. Do you still want it to be released on 7707?
No.
Wait, before we answer that, there's some little ones that are leaving, if they're gonna leave.
Oh.
Say, I saw him there the whole show, so thank you for coming.
Thanks, sir. Listen. Do you have a question at all? Anything you'd like to ask everybody up here? I mean, we're really happy that you came and saw us. You don't have anything? Okay, well, you do have one question?
When's the fifth book video game coming out? Do you know?
Yeah, you got him interested.
It must be around, it's always around the time of the movie
Probably
release.
after the movie, though. After
Usually
the
same
movie
day.
settled a little bit.
Isn't it?
It usually comes out before.
Like a week or
No, because you give away secrets from the movie. You can't come out before.
Next summer. Next summer.
Next summer.
Next summer? Next summer.
I want to. Thank you.
Thank you, seriously.
The release date question guy over here.
Yes.
To address what you were
Quinn.
saying, I think that I don't want to see it end next summer because I want to be drawn out as possible so we do more of these things and yeah.
We like to.
I want it to end.
We don't want it to end, seriously.
Okay, to think about it, if you look with book 6, she announced the title about 11 months beforehand. Then we got the release date around Christmas, so she hasn't even announced the title yet. So I wouldn't think until summer of 08.
I agree.
It seems like such a You don't think she's gonna be like, here's the title, here's the date, what's the last Horcrux? Boom, one shot. You don't think number one? What if Micah asked for
Yeah, I was
it
going
on
to say,
his
only if Micah Tannenbaum has something to say about
Because
that.
Micah gets results, isn't that right?
That's Micah does it.
Last week I think it was, Micah, we asked for Joe to release or give a title out. No
Yeah.
word back yet though.
No word.
And there was scrambles in Joe's office, apparently, once they heard Micah talking about it.
Micah gets very scary when he's angry.
Yeah, so dang, gets results.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we're all in agreement that summer. It just seems so long.
Do you guys think she's obligated to do a summer release date just because it's sort of the
I
Harry
agree with the
Potter
summer
thing?
08 thing. I don't agree with that.
Okay, maybe not
Okay,
summer.
well, she's
8,
taking.
but
She doesn't want to mess
not
this one up. She has
What
to
does
make
Sue have to
sure.
say? What does Sue have to say?
I just don't think she's gonna wait that long. I really don't.
So when do you think?
I'm still, my theory was, although all the talk is about in the summer, but I still think September 1st is the last day back, is the last first day on going back to Hogwarts.
Is it a weekend?
It's a holiday, both here and it's a bank holiday in the UK. I think it could work.
But kids would skip school the next day so that they can read it the next day. Joe Rowling.
What are you gonna do?
I think Harry's pretty
They'd
much.
be reading, so well, they would betray it all.
Which is
I just don't think it's
more
gonna
of an
be
education,
08.
more of
I don't want it to be 08.
I don't want it to be late either, but my thing about it is Joe said that she was starting to write this book in January of this year. When you consider that she has to write the book and then it has to go to editing, they have to print it, they have to get the cover and the chapter art done to get it done by next
She
summer.
can't leave any loose ends either.
Well, she said actually though, says this is the year that I write the book. She
But,
didn't
you
say
know,
start, she
Well,
said
some authors can write chapters in an evening.
I know, but look at the Order of the Phoenix. She had a mind block, whatever.
Yeah,
it took her
but-
3 years to get it published.
Right, but she said a couple of times now how well the writing is going.
also
And
got
for
Mackenzie as
seven,
well.
for seven, it's sort of like the last quarter of a puzzle. You know, is like the easy. It's so easy. Everything just sort of. I feel like that's sort of where. And just to clear up, the publishing takes 6 months. They pretty structurally, the book gets submitted. It takes about 6 months, which is a rush, but it's for Harry Potter. So whatever date they want to hit, they will hit. So it's not, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna eat 50 more sausages if it comes out. I know, so
Oh,
it's
Jamie,
not
come
going
on,
to.
you're in deep enough, mate. Seriously.
Sorry, does that sound hungry now?
I'll eat 72 inches of Subway.
It's
a lot of food.
Before we dare ourselves into cholesterol.
There's so much product placement in
You
every
guys,
show.
no. Why am I getting sponsors? But hey, we have about 10 minutes left, guys.
How many? Oh. Yeah, we have to give out. We have to give out.
Start firing them off.
The stuff. Oh, well, 10 minutes for the actual.
5 minutes, and then we'll give out the stuff.
Then we'll give out the stuff. Okay.
Get 2 more questions. We're gonna answer
Take your
fast.
time. Seriously, okay. I'm gonna go right here. Hello. What is your name?
Marissa?
Marissa, what is your question? Where are you from? You're not from California, are you? Okay, don't say anything. What is your question? Accept your question, seriously. Oh, you go to UCLA, that's very nice.
I was wondering, how do people stumble upon the room of requirement? Because, like, Fred and George say they stumbled upon it because they were running away from Filch, but to go up and down 1/4 3 times when you're running away from Filch, I don't understand. How do people stumble upon it?
How did Dumbledore how to turn to the bathroom?
Yeah.
I think it has to happen more than once for you to realize what it is, because you know if you're walking past it and it turns into the chamber pots, as Dumbledore said, you could just assume that there's a room full of chamber pots if you really need to go.
Right, but she's saying how does it make sense for Fred and George to find it because they'd have to go up and down 3 times?
Well,
Filch
Fred
is
and-
really fast.
Do we know how the duration you have to walk 3 times could be 3 times the whole school year?
Maybe.
What? You have to concentrate.
It's slightly contradicting
Go hallway.
because one of the parameters was that it had to be there only in times when you need it, but then you also need to walk back and forth 3 times, and there's a whole procedure to opening it. So that
Fred knows he's done it.
Maybe Fred and George were just covering up how they really found out, because they are Fred and George.
And I think we're gonna go to the last voicemail.
How about someone from over here? We have one over here.
Come over here like a boss.
Can we do 2 more? Can we do 2 more? Because
Still a little girl.
okay.
Of course.
Hi.
Hi. I was wondering if the Weasleys might play a role in helping protect the people, because I think in book 6 it mentions that they were inventing shield hats and shield stuff that would help protect them. Yeah, all those kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So the Weasley twins.
Very good. Couldn't you just imagine? You know, you got the Death Eaters fighting as nasty as they can, and you got the Order coming at them with like smoking, cheese bombs or whatever they're going to throw at people.
Well, in book six, we see that they mention how there's always so many people who can. You'd be surprised how many people can't even do a simple shield jump. And so, yeah, like the Ministry, didn't the Ministry order the hat? Was it a hat or whatever?
Yeah,
Something
it
like-
is. Yeah, that Peruvian powder.
Yeah.
And double-edged grip or so.
Are we hitting our last one right here?
Last one.
Yeah. Well, 2 more because this girl has had her hand up the whole thing. Okay. Hi.
Hi, my name's Lisa from La Puente, California.
Hi,
Lisa. Hello. My thing is, what do you guys think about Slughorn? We already know that he was the one who knew about the Horcruxes, and Voldemort, he had the threat to Voldemort because he knew about it, and that's why he thought the Death Eaters were after him. Now, what about now? We already know about the Horcruxes. We already have the memory. Do you think Voldemort's still going to go after him? And what else do you guys think that he might know about Voldemort, seeing to it as that was his student? He has an insight to Tom Riddle, Voldemort, whatever you want to call him, than any other normal person. Now, how do you guys think what's going to happen to Slughorn? Do you think he's going to die before the book comes out, or well, kind of technically speaking, or do you think that something bigger is for Slughorn? I mean, it's somebody small. He already did what he had to do, but sometimes Joe might throw in that sideball, that's curveball, excuse me, and you don't know.
I think that if he does die, we're going to see it in the book. I don't think it's something that would happen between books. As for Voldemort wanting to kill him, do you guys think that Voldemort would actually see him as a threat because of the way he likes to suck up to people? And the way that he's of taken this role of...
He doesn't seem like the kind of person who'd be out there fighting, you know.
Well, just like we saw in book 6, they had to go find him because he was distancing himself. He went in hiding, and I could see the same thing happening in book 7.
But then again, I mean, if they're going to make him the head of Slytherin House, I mean, maybe he's going to be integral in uniting the school. Maybe he will be more of a threat to Voldemort.
I mean, if Voldemort figures out that Harry's going after the Horcruxes, and he also finds out that the dude that he learned about Horcruxes from is in Hogwarts. Oh.
Did you just say Horcruxes?
She has been in my ear about this for so long.
Joe is in your ear about it. What do you want from me? Joe.
Well, Joe isn't in whacking distance of me.
That's correct. Okay.
But anyhow, if he finds out that this guy is at Hogwarts, I think he's gonna make the connections. Like, you are responsible for these guys figuring out about my whore thingies. I'm gonna kill you myself, you know?
Why do I need to call him that out?
That's new.
I did that.
What?
Oh, that's copyrighted, sir.
Free.com, property of John Noe.
All right, and also there was something that Joe Rowling said about a character appearing in the next book, which was the sixth one, that would play an integral role in the final 2 books, not just one of them 2. I think that was Slughorn. Hello.
Hi, I'm Kyra from Orange County, and my question is, because I think that like Malfoy is one of the most like interesting characters, so I was just wondering what you guys thought, if he was gonna like go good, bad, or if he's like if you thought he was gonna go the good side. I don't know. You think Malfoy's dead? He's gonna die? Draco
Malfoy. Well, at a Radio City Music Hall, Joe mentioned that any character except Voldemort, because he's a psychopath, is redeemable. So, I don't know, I could see him changing his ways.
What was her quote at the reading when she made the point to go, "Oh, you girls and the bad boys again"? You know, I think she pretty much called it out that Draco is not coming back to the light. While on the other hand, when she mentioned Snape again, like, "Oh, you guys still hold out your hope for Snape," she didn't shoot down Snape, but she seemed to shoot down every other stuff.
Well, I don't know.
Every other, you know, bad guys. She said we're bad guys.
Well, the thing about Draco is, we saw at the end of book 6 how he was so uneasy about killing Dumbledore, and I don't know, I just don't think, I could see it happening, but...
Who else? Who else thinks that he's the one who got the reprieve? Draco. Remember, J.K. Rowling said that one character got a reprieve. She was going to kill him. She did.
I don't think so, because 2 other characters die in that one character's place. It's got to be someone.
Well, it's not like in his place. You know what I mean? It's like in the course of writing.
She said that someone got a reprieve, and then 2 more people died that weren't supposed to.
The quote was, 2 people who I didn't intend to die have died, and 1 person got a reprieve. Just like, I don't think they're necessarily related.
But it just seems like to me that one character that got the reprieve would have to be someone that we would care about.
We care about Draco.
What if it was serious?
You don't?
You know, that's possible, but I really believe that she had the main characters or critical characters like that, their fates were already long determined, and I don't think that she's changed her mind on that, so I don't think that it's Draco that got
Don't let us forget to ask her if she gives us a chance. We won't forget.
And another thing, I think the reason so many girls or guys, whoever, are set on Draco being good is because they think Tom Felton's a hottie, so...
I think the same case as Snape, it just makes the character that much more compelling to first be evil and then see the light.
Of course. We'll see what happens.
Well, guys, thank you. Well, we have some...
Oh, thank you,
We have some stuff to give away, basically because Borders, who has been so wonderful to us, asked us to make up these signs, and these ones happen to have not gotten used. And you guys seem to like us and ask us to sign things often. So, I mean, like, arrogant about it or whatever, it feels sort of weird to do it. But we signed a bunch of these, and we're going to give them out.
If we haven't plugged, have we mentioned the location of this store on the show? I mean,
Yes.
actually,
Oh my God, have we not
Borders of
mentioned-
Westwood.
Borders of Westwood, California.
We did say Westwood.
Thank you.
It's actually Los Angeles,
Well,
California.
it's going to be up on the website and stuff. But anyway, we have a sort of special way. Oh, we also have to give out our friend Alex from the Remus Lupins. He lives out here, and of course, the week that we come out here, he's in Portland. So he sent us a signed CD to give out in this place. So anyway, we have some trivia questions about the podcast to ask you, and Eric suggested that we give one to somebody who's traveled the farthest.
Yes, we see a lot of people from California here, and that's cool. That's cool. I mean, we're in California, right? We want to ask you not to come out of it. We love you guys, but since we need to come up and with ways to get these special things out, we want to find out who came actually the farthest to come to this podcast.
Who's not from California?
I think Jamie came the furthest.
Well,
wait, hold on. In the back, what's that?
Where are you from?
What?
China.
They have to prove it too. That's not right.
For this podcast?
Can you prove this with official documentation, a passport and/or ID? And/or can you say something in Chinese?
Come here, come here.
Oh yes, please walk up. Please walk up. Is anybody farther from China? Any contenders?
Is there any place farther than China?
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, what's your name? E, can you say something in Chinese?
Yeah, I can see Harry Potter in Chinese.
Oh, good.
Harry Potter.
She got us.
Okay, so we.
Thank you.
Okay,
wow.
so thank you.
Jeez,
Wow.
man. Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
E.
From China.
No, we have some. Hold on. We have some good trivia. We have some good trivia.
Okay. This one, it just tests who's the biggest fan. How and why does the Leaky Mug podcast start?
Don't yell it out. Don't yell it out.
Don't yell it
Raise
out.
your hand.
And, Eric, do
Oh,
you
yeah, I can go to people. Wait, can you ask
Just
the
go,
question
just pick
again?
some.
How and why did the Leaky Mug podcast start?
First person to raise their hand who wasn't.
Not the live ones, but
Not the live ones, yeah.
The actual.
When it wasn't called Leaky
Right in
Mug.
front of you.
Yeah, I know.
When it was called Cat Dog.
Cat Dog
When it was called Cat Dog Thing.
Because it got kicked off the iTunes music.
Very good.
Very good. And why did we do the show?
First you ranted about it, and then you decided to do it to tell people why you got kicked off.
Very nice.
Well, if I
The procedure.
Right, we started notoriously, is that the word? Very nice.
Speaking of Cat Dog, I have to say hi real quick to all the Harry Potter fans on the IMDb boards, especially the people
John
who
goes
couldn't
there all
make
the
it out there today, especially the beautiful 23-year-old Barry from Australia, and Barry Wagoo. Kisses for everybody on the IMDb board.
Go ahead.
Do you know what? Do you want to
I have to. I won't. Sue and I want to share a moment real quick, but.
Oh.
You had a moment?
Yes, we have many moments.
You're stuck in a moment?
Oh.
We can't get out of.
Which leaky mugger fell asleep during an episode of The Leaky Mug?
Okay, this girl's jumping up and down.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Come on up.
Do you know the answer?
Yeah.
She knows, I know.
Was it Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, Ben. Drop me the Ben chain.
It's very
The next one is from the Remus Lupin CD.
Ooh,
Sleep for the wicked.
audio related.
Spells from a Broken Wand. It says, fight evil, read books, Alex Carpenter.
Since that's a pretty special gift, I think this is a hard question. I will really be surprised if someone gets this. Who drew this leaky mug artwork?
Oh, Frank.
Yeah, it's him
What
back
the
there.
frack?
Wait a second.
I saw him
Plasma
back
is-
there.
Wait a second, who's this? Wait a minute.
Walking
over. Hello, what's your name?
My name is Cal from Phoenix, and Heather Campbell.
What's her McConaughey?
Oh,
She's pretty awesome, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Whoa!
what a fan.
And we go. All right, last one.
Alex's CD reads, fight evil, read books.
Or do both, you know.
Or do both.
Happy birthday!
Harry Potter, or is it Hogwarts?
It's the Goblet of Fire.
I had a dark mark once and I washed off. I'm not as hardcore, I guess.
Just real quick. Sue, we had a moment last night special. That was
A
great.
moment last night.
Anyway, as you know, twice we have podcasted from the Barnes & Noble in Union Square. Then the other day, we find out. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You tell.
No, you.
Yes, no,
Okay.
you're bad.
We find out. Some people may know those of the trip blogs or whatever that you two actually decided to do a book signing from the Borders of Westwood Union Square, the same place where we did 2 of our live podcasts, and we just thought that was pretty.
We actually sat in the same place, at the same table, and the same chair.
We're going back there just so we can walk on the same grounds.
And it was a beautiful day.
I know. So, last question. For which holiday did we release a Leaky mug with a super fun ending at the end? That girl all the way in the back. Eric, run out to her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, he's coming.
Yep. Christmas.
Here. Incorrect.
No.
Why are you saying here? We have to do a new question now.
Oh.
No, we don't.
No, something else happened. We won't discuss here.
Eric.
Eric said holiday.
Oh, you said it?
Eric said it.
You gave out the answer?
No one up here.
Him right here.
She knows.
What?
New Year's.
That's correct.
Correct.
Count it down.
What's your name? Sean, thank you.
Did anybody ever do that properly? Did they turn on their iPod at the right time?
No one did that.
Did
No
they
one
count
did
down?
We did it. We counted down so that if you had,
I thought-
if you were alone on New Year's, you could.
No, I heard there was big parties happening where instead of Dick Clark, they used our show for their party. I read that email.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
On that note.
How long are these lights? It's time to go.
Well,
It's time to kick it.
time to go.
Is that the end?
That's it.
Okay, one more hour.
Actually, we've got an hour to get out of here before we all get mobbed.
Ben's gonna explode from the subway, so I think that.
Yes.
You want to stay?
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming.
Hang on. We got some people to thank. First of all, Borders. Oh my gosh. If I tell you, nice and amazing and friendly and on top of things, like it's just been a pleasure. Yes. If you parked your car under the store and you're expecting to get something for free, you should buy something first. Then you'll get something for free. You have to buy something here to get your ticket validated. So buy something. Buy a Harry Potter book, because you don't have those.
Buy the new book by you too.
If you
If you buy something of $5 or more, you can get your ticket validated. That's one thing. Another thing, if you moved a book, if you were waiting here and you moved a book and you were like sitting there reading or whatever, make sure you put it back. Because if every one of you moves one book, that's a lot of unhappy Borders employees when you guys leave. And we have to thank our audio guy, Chris Knudsen. Video guy, Mikey. Our lovely roving panel member, Eric. And of course, all of you, hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to report that these 2 podcasts won 2 podcast awards.
You'll see it on
Also, thanks Kevin Steck for joining us today.
And Micah Tannenbaum, of course.
He was transcribing this as we were talking, so you
Going on
got a
right now.
transcript back there with like
$200.
Well, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for coming.
Hold on. Is it dramatic?
Say hi, it's
Yeah, we
cool
want to
too.
say hi, so hang on.